Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, that's Ronnie Karam, and today we are celebrating the final episode of Jax being on Bravo until he's uncanceled again. But for right now, it seems pretty good. Seems like this is the one. This is it. This is it.
Seems steady, eh?
Yeah. Hey, Ronnie, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. I'm sad that the Valley's over. It was really so stunning this season. Great work. And I think I would have to categorize myself as quite happy. Also, I'm quite happy because tomorrow, of course, we are going to have our Miami recap, and we already saw the Miami episode. I've got to say, it was so good. I was laughing so hard through so much of it. I cannot wait to recap it. But then, in case people didn't hear, Miami is actually moving to Thursday nights. So we have a little bit of a traffic jam with our recaps because we just do with our scheduling, and we also have nothing on Mondays. So what we're going to do is Orange counties are going to be on Friday, and then Miami recaps will be on Monday mornings. That we finally have something on Monday mornings again. So that is the programming update on that front.
Bravo's being super bizarre. They're not going to have anything on Wednesday, Tuesday, or what the hell?
They don't have. No, they have.
Wait, Monday is below deck and Monday is below deck. Tuesday is McBee, right? But then next Tuesday.
No, Monday is McBee and Below Deck. Tuesday, I don't think there's anything on there.
Tuesday, they're going to show Love Island, which is bizarre. They're going to show last season of Love Island. They're starting it from the beginning, it looks like. And then Wednesday,
maybe they'll do more Love Island? I don't know. Then Thursday, I actually, believe it or not, I'm actually okay with them moving Miami to Thursday. And the reason why is they're putting it behind Orange County. So they're not going to have an Orange County lead-in, which I think that's nice because it means to me that Bravo is trying to get more viewers on Miami. I think they were just trying to have Miami anchor a whole night, and for whatever reason, I can't explain many people's actions in 2025. So I can't explain why people aren't watching Miami. I think people are watching it. Like, the chatter is going up and up and up and up. I think it's getting to that. It's approaching where it needs to be. But for people who are here listening to our Valley recap and have never watched Miami, I mean, you are so missing out. I finished watching the episode and I was like, this is really like the perfect show. Like, there are sometimes I watch Miami, I actually think it may even be better than Salt Lake City because it is just so good. So that's my plea for everyone to watch Miami because you just don't want to miss out.
I got to watch Miami. Come on, be a good American.
Be a good American. But anyway, come
vote with your eyes. Vote with your
eyes.
Patreon.
Patreon.com/WatchWhatCrappens is our Patreon. We have bonus episodes. We'll record one later today. And we also have Crappens on Demand where you can watch us, not just listen to us. So get the full experience over there. And then lastly, on Monday, after a few hours after our Miami recap, we are going to be doing Amazon Live, and we will be talking about some of our favorite products. So join us over there because we have way too much fun doing that. So that's all the news. That's the updates. That's
we might even do something a little special since we're going to be short a recap or two. So you never know what's going to come down the pike. And guess what? We don't know either because we haven't even discussed
I don't know either.
Yeah, we haven't discussed it. I have no idea. I have no ideas.
It's going to be special, whatever it is.
I watched Alien Earth last night. Pretty special. I'm sure a Bravo audience would love it.
That would actually be kind of a funny thing to recap, even though it does look scary. I'm actually okay with it. Well,
Tamara gets sent down to Earth on a crashed alien ship.
Tamara. Yeah, seriously.
It's terrifying.
The original Xenomorph.
They're just like, that's my opinion.
All those aliens, all those xenomorphs are like little Tamaras running around eating cats and Tom Skerritt.
They are. And then they have the Larsa, the like cyborg who was changed from, she got too much Botox and filler in her face, so they had to move her personality into a different body. They've got her. It's going to be very good.
I only saw the first Alien. I've actually never seen any of the others, including Aliens, which I've been meaning to watch for, I don't know, about 20 years.
Oh, that's a classic.
I know.
One of the best sequels ever of all time.
I loved Alien. I love it. We should recap Alien someday. Wouldn't that be funny if we just recap the original Alien?
Sure, we should. I'm down. Next week, we're on. It's Alien Week. We should celebrate Alien Week or Alien coming on TV by recapping the original Alien. Why not?
The original Alien.
Do you think she's a lesbian?
We can just ask that every 5 minutes, like people did in the movie theater.
Oh my God, so funny. Speaking of aliens, let's talk about this cast of The Valley. So, yeah, I'm so excited for you, Ronnie. I am so thrilled because I feel like today you're really gonna have a fun time. This is gonna be yes. The fire hose will open, and I cannot wait to hear your rage. I was watching the episode last night. I was like, Ronnie is going to be furious.
Really? I mean, I just watched it and kept going, oh, shut up. I mean, I feel like the same amount that I always do, but I feel very peaceful and calm today and rage free. Wow. So let's see. Let's see what happens.
All right. Well, here we are, part 3 of this reunion, a really strong reunion. And also one of the few times I will say all 3 parts were deserved. I felt like it was crammed full of good stuff. And where we left off was this fight with Danny and Jason being like, you're a clown, dude. You're like a clown. You're a clown. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How could you call me a clown? You know how many times I tried out for that role? You know what? I'm sorry. Why do you have to bring up my trauma trying to audition for it? It's just not nice.
Daniel spent months hiding under the grate on our street, trying to get method to get that role, and he still didn't get it. But you know what, Daniel? Don't let them steal your peace. Don't let them steal your peace, Daniel.
You don't even know how many red balloons I inflated, okay? I was getting into the role. So Janet's like, you know what? I'm actually glad, I've talked about it a lot because it's happened multiple times ever since. Multiple times the sexual assault has happened. We don't have evidence, nor we have stories. We don't even have fake stories about how it happened. But I'm just going to say to everyone, it happened multiple times since.
And Andy, who, I mean, we all suspect has grabbed plenty of butts in his day and told people, get daddy a drink. Okay? Like, let's just get that out there, okay? I think we all know that this happens on a regular basis. Andy is just perplexed by this whole line of questioning, even though it's his.
/board.
But, he's very like, wait, so you're saying he's touched other women's butts? Like, why do I care about this? I mean, he just has this look on his face. Like, is this what we've gone to on the show? And Janet's like, well, he's been inappropriate and made other women feel uncomfortable multiple times since, as recently as the Super Bowl. Dun, dun, dun. First of all, isn't the Super Bowl National Women Feeling Uncomfortable Day? I mean, I think men have been making women feel uncomfortable on the Super Bowl since the dawn of the Super Bowl. I've never been to one where I haven't been uncomfortable for every woman in the room. Okay.
Yeah.
Second, prove it. And by the way, I know I'm minimizing by making jokes about what Danny did. It's just that it's talked about ad nauseum. You know what I mean? So yes, Danny still sucks for grabbing someone's butt and doing all of that stuff. But Janet is just taking it to this level that's ridiculous. Prove it. Where are these multiple times, Janet? Who are these people? Name them. Name them and name them.
Here's the thing. I don't doubt that Danny has gotten drunk and been flirty and made people be like giving people the creeps, you know?
I don't either.
I think we both believe that. I think that the problem is that Janet is, she's doubling down, I think, because she doesn't really want to she doesn't want to take anything back. So she's kind of doubling down and now making herself a crusader on this topic that I'm not sure she's qualified to be the advocate in this moment. Like, because she's not bringing like facts to be like, hey, listen, I've got to say, on this occasion, this happened. This occasion, this happened. This occasion, this happened. And she's not bringing, I don't know, she's not bringing enough. So it just is coming out as kind of like sort of general like accusations, which I just think is like a little harmful. Like, I think it's, and I think that she's doing it really, there's something about the sanctimoniousness of it, not the sanctimoniousness of it, but it's like she is putting herself in this crusader position. It almost feels like to retroactively shore up her position, shore up the fact that she was over the top in yelling sexual assault on that boat, I think.
Yeah, and I think that the reason it's so effective is because the argument that she's using is designed to make you uncomfortable. It's designed to make you unable to argue with it because she's taking the old victim cloak, right? And she's using
talking
that,
about something very serious.
You can't argue with the victim cloak, right? So she's taking that and she's using that as a weapon against someone, but none of it is her. It's none of it is her victimhood. So when it comes to Jasmine, okay, we get the Jasmine thing. Jasmine has every right to stand up, and actually Janet has a right to say something about it too, frankly.
Yeah, and I think that Janet
is like, did that. So I think
you're allowed
that she
to be
has
an
the
ally.
Right. But she's taking these terms, right? She's taking these terms. She's taking terms like he's made women feel uncomfortable. Well, we all know what that means. She's taking terms like sexual. She's taking these big terms and she's using them as weapons because you can't argue with those terms. Because if you argue them, then people are saying, "Why are you standing up for someone who would make women feel like that or do that to women?" It's not standing up for Danny. Danny's a pig for doing that, but Janet's a pig for taking all of these things to fight with somebody just because she doesn't like them when she doesn't believe any of this shit. And you can't go around accusing people of like sexual assault when you have no proof. And I'm not talking about the Jasmine thing. I'm talking about this. You've made women feel uncomfortable. Well, who is it? So then we find out because Nia's...
Well, it's a little fraught because I think when it comes to discussions, and this is where it's all becomes like this ball of yarn, because when it comes to discussions of like, oh, you have no proof, a lot of times there is never proof in these incidents. So it's like sort of, it always comes down to a he said, she said, and this is why actually a lot of guys get away with it because there's never any proof. But I think that what we're kind of, I do think we're agreeing on this, which is that it seems like on that boat, she blurted out sexual assault, which like technically okay, it fits under there, but realistically we understand that that phrase is loaded with a lot more meaning than just the legal definition. And she took it too far by saying that, and instead of sort of saying I did take it too far, that was bad, she's now doubling down and actually saying that now she's going to be like an advocate for this sort of stuff, which is hard to argue against because like who would say like fuck you for being an advocate against sexual assault? Like no one's going to say that, but she's also, like you said, victim cloaking herself by doing so.
Well, and she's just to your point where she's saying where victims are often met with the argument, there's no proof and you have no proof. That's what she's counting on. But she's not a victim. She's not the victim. So also, it's like saying you don't have proof of what you're accusing people of doing. These other people have not accused him. You are accusing him with no proof. So that's the difference. But she's taking this terminology that if you argue with it in any way, you're just a pig, misogynist who's standing up for someone who did something shitty, which I'm not doing. I'm not saying people are accusing us necessarily. I'm saying that that's the arguing that she uses, and that's why she's a dangerous person. She's a gross fucking person. And to say like you've done this multiple times, who are they? You have to name them now. And to say the Super Bowl, okay, great. So then Nia's telling her, that's a lie, Janet. You're so good at lying, and you're making it sound like he's going out and grabbing women when he drinks. And she goes, well, until the behavior stops, I don't feel bad about talking about it. And there's a couple people on this stage that know about it. Okay, then who? Let's find out who.
Yeah, she's doing enough like it's almost like maybe we don't need proof, but maybe we need to hear like, what are you talking about? What has brought you to this place? Like, what have you heard? Because it's like you can't just like go halfway and say I heard things and then you don't follow up with any details. Maybe it's not that we need proof. We maybe need details.
Well, it's not because proof. No one said proof. I mean, I guess I said prove it, but I'm saying name the people. Name them. Like if you're going to make an if you're going to.
But you can say like this happened on this, what I heard from someone is that Danny did X, Y, and Z to them. And then this person said Danny did the X, Y, and Z. But if you're just like, I heard things, I think that's very harmful. It's like either you don't say it or you say it and you come in with sort of like, this is something that happened and we should all as a cast be concerned. But that sort of half and half thing is like not great.
Well, exactly. And from what we know from the show, from what we've seen her say, she said, you went to a fan event, you were at a fan event, and you were grabbing people's butts or doing whatever. You were doing all this stuff to fans, right? And you were making the fans really uncomfortable. Well, who did you hear that from? Brittany. Well, Brittany, did she say that? Well, I didn't see that. Jason said it. And then Jason, did you see it? No, I never said that. So that's what we know so far. So this is where Janet is this is the ice that Janet is standing on. And it's making me crazy that the only people calling her out are the people that are being kind of attacked with it. And they really have no leg to stand on because Danny did do that with Jasmine. So it's like he's got, so that's why I have to make it very clear. I'm not standing up for Danny. Like, fuck Danny. Okay. This isn't about Danny. This is about her taking something that's very serious to a lot of people and minimizing it for her own shallow gains. And it's really frustrating to watch. So now they do it again. So Nia calls her out for being a liar. They said, who told you this? Who are you talking about? Who are these couple of people you're talking about? So Janet says, well, Michelle. And Michelle says, okay, so Brittany, well, you said that you felt uncomfortable on your birthday around Danny. Okay, shocker. This came from Brittany again. So...
But now this was interesting because Brittany starts giggling very uncomfortably. And she's like, well, Danny did get pretty drunk and you were like following me around for a little bit. But like, you didn't like Mike and you didn't touch me nor nothing. But like, his personality just was very much changed. And like, he started being very flirtatious. And I don't really know how to explain it, but he wasn't that same guy as it was on Halloween. And I was like, I low-key thought this was like a little upsetting because she seemed so uneasy about this. I think she just didn't want to be lumped into all of Janet's bullshit. But she basically was saying again, like, he was getting flirty with me and like she wasn't going to bring it up. And she's like, yeah, he was flirty with me. I mean, like, Danny clearly is not a good drunk. I'm sorry, he's not.
But then, Janet, it's not that he's a good drunk. It's that Brittany said something like Danny was wasted, and I don't know if he was I don't know what that deal's. Whatever she told Janet took it to say he's made women uncomfortable multiple times since until his behavior stops, his sexual assault behavior stops. It's like, it's just frustrating to watch it, She makes me crazy. She makes me fucking crazy.
So Neil's like, I think that's important to specify because the way that Janet talked about it. He's like, you said he grabbed people. And Jason's like, no, I didn't say he grabbed people. I was like, well, yeah, you did. You said the same thing. It's like, well, he's done things other times. And it wasn't Jasmine and Melissa. That's all I'm saying. So Andy's like, Danny, Jasmine said in Santa Barbara that she knows you have a drinking problem. Do you think you have a drinking problem? He's like, Angie, I mean, drinking problem. That's ridiculous. And Jasmine's like, well, the only reason I know you have one is because of what you did. And I felt like there had to be some kind of issue or something with alcohol. And then Jason's like, do you think you have a drinking problem? I'm like, even if he did have a drinking problem, why on earth is he going to have like a come to Jesus moment with you, Jason, after you and Janet have just come so hard for him?
Yeah, I think at this point it's pretty clear he has a drinking problem. And I actually agree with Jason when he says we all have a drinking problem. It's the most I think he was trying to trick Danny into saying something, but he kind of spoke for everybody because Jason gets drunk and acts like an idiot and yells at women all the time on this show. We've seen it multiple times. So he's not really off scot-free either.
That was my favorite thing when he said that. I think we all have a drinking problem, and how upset so many people got. Like, what? Especially Kristen. What? You're saying that I have a drinking problem? Seriously?
Yes,
Seriously?
Kristen. I'm like, Kristen. Yes, Kristen, you have a fucking drinking problem. And I can't wait till next year till you've dropped that baby and you can get back to being your normal self because this St. Kristen thing is out of control at this point.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So he's like, do you think you have a drinking problem? Danny's like, well, I haven't had a drink in a few weeks, which is a problem. I can say that. That's been rough. And Jason's like, well, everybody on this stage has issues with alcohol, to be honest with you. And they're like, what? And Jax goes, huh? Jax is the most shocked. He's like, well, why am I the only one getting shit? So, and Kristen's all offended, like you said. And he goes, and the fact that you won't admit that you have any issues with it. So Danny's like, okay, so do you have a drinking problem? And he's like, well, it's a battle for me, because if I'm going to choose to drink, it's something that every time I have to think about it.
But seriously, you can't say everyone on this stage has a problem with alcohol. What about Nia? Don't say something bad about Nia. That's just like a bold-ass statement to make about everybody. So Jason's like, well, I mean, I guess I've never hung out with Andy. And they all laugh. It's like, I don't want to get all worked up. Like, I think they'll like make this a thing because they're good people. Like, Danny and Nia are good people, despite the fact that
They're good people when they're sober. They're good people when they're sober.
Like they have a beautiful family. They have a big. He's like, but you just called me a clown. Clowns aren't beautiful. How could you say such a thing?
And Jesse's like, yeah, you should apologize for calling him a clown. I really like Jesse caping. And he's like, no, he's a clown. I mean, look at the guy. So Jason can't really make up his mind what he's trying to do today. He's a flip-flopper. And so Danny's like, well, you're just name-calling now. Clown? You called me a clown? Is that worse than calling somebody daddy? I mean, really? So Jason's like, okay, you're right. You're right. I shouldn't have called you a clown. That was immature. So Brittany's like, wait, I can say none of us think that you're like a bad person. I just think it was these certain incidences that you acted just out of your character. That's all.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm bored. Rumors about Jason ditching his wedding band was one ring toss game that Janet refused to play.
In case you don't get that joke, Janet loves Dave and Buster's. What a personality.
Jasmine, Jason thinks you made up the ring rumor. How did you feel accused of this by someone you were such pals with? So Jasmine's like, I was just hurt. That the fact that you thought I would really like go out of my way to make up a rumor like about you like taking off your ring. Like, first of all, that's the worst whack rumor I've ever heard in my life. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that is so whack. Like, on the scale of 0 to whack, that is the most whack. It's whack times 5. I mean, give me more respect.
If there was a mole, he would be whacked right now. I'm telling you that. He would win at Dave and Buster's because that was whack. That was whack.
If I were to release a one-hit wonder song,
no one believes that. So, like, obviously, it's a whack rumor.
It was very whack. It was 100% whack. Return of the whack. So Kristen's like,
whacking the beanstalk.
I could do way better. What'd you say?
Whacking the beanstalk. That was like whacking the beanstalk. Like, throw your magic beans on the ground, climb up a fucking rope. Because I was whack.
I want my baby whack, baby whack, baby whack, baby whack.
Hey, don't talk about Hooters competition in here.
Stay soon.
So Kristen's like, yeah, I could do way better than that. So Jasmine's like, yeah, maybe it was my fault for speaking on it when I was in frustration, like with Janet. But like, I didn't make that shit up and I didn't lie. Okay, I didn't lie. So, okay, well, weeks after it was put to bed, Janet, you went to get ring tattoos to debunk a rumor that you said you didn't care about. I love that Andy hates Janet.
Yeah, like, he really does.
So wait, I'm just going through my cards of your quote-unquote storyline, and you were over something for 3 weeks and then got ring tattoos.
Well, funny story. It was not necessarily to debunk. It was like, once this is out, it just feels like a can of worms that you just can't put it back. I was like, you can literally put a can of worms back into a can.
Yeah, and worms go back in cans.
Worms are like, they get in there. It's the toothpaste that you have to have.
You can't put worms in a toothpaste tub.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
And I've been telling Jason has never had a tattooed before this, and I wanted him to get one, and I felt like kind of it was a fun excuse to like make light of it because like we make fun of ourselves in the situation. We're very relatable people that America should love, and I've always kind of wanted a wedding band tattoo because that always works out well for people, and I thought it was cool, and so we just had a day of it. That's all.
I wish they had showed us a clip of this scene because I love her rewriting this into, oh yeah, it was just a fun excuse to, make light of it. Just have fun. Just a fun scene. Me and Jason getting it. It was hilarious. Jason, you're sure you're getting this tattoo? This means so much to me because I'm like so insecure about people. Replay the scene. This was not a fun light scene, Janet. So Zach, you said it was comical that Janet and Jason laughed off the ring rumor at the shark party. God, I love that sentence. But later made a big deal of it. Why do you think they did that? He's like, I mean, they were like, oh, I guess that's our storyline. So that's what they did. I mean, no storyline about Nespresso pods for them. I have a really great Nespresso pod holder, by the way. It's going to be featured heavily in season 3.
Oh, well, at first I'm like laughing it off because I know this is not true, but it also made me realize our friendship is not getting to a better place. So like that's not going to help us get to a peaceful place this summer. And I was like bummed about that. And also as a joke, and that like Jason and I have like a pretty calm, boring marriage that, and in that sense. So like I really don't know why America hates us. I mean, we're just two boring people just doing boring things, accusing people of sexual assault and playing games and, trying to avoid that low-hanging hood in our kitchen. That's it, really. Just simple people.
The truest thing Janet has ever said on this show is Jason and I have a pretty calm, boring marriage. So Kristen's like, oh, now you're relevant. Now you're relevant. You did it, Janet. And then how's she relevant by the ring tattoo?
I didn't understand that logic, but...
well, Kristen, do you owe Kristen an apology for making you relevant? That was good, Kristen. Janet's like, no, I mean, this is out there publicly. People are going to be questioning his character. You have to own up to that. You have to own up to that. I mean, even the drug addicted sex assaulter next to you probably agrees with that. Reputation is very, very important.
People don't care. The only people who perpetuated it all summer long was you two. And Luke's like, yeah, no one talked about this. I mean, I don't mean this in an asshole way, but it's literally, you're not important for fans to care that much about, okay? But after the shark party, when you both laughed and I looked right at you and I said, I was just being an asshole. You hurt my friends. I came after you. I said that to your face. Jason, you can roll your eyes. I'm being honest. Caw-caw.
Yeah, because Jason's activated over there. Jason is so pissed off at this point. He's just rolling his eyes and like grabbing Janet's hand and then ungrabbing her hand, ungrabbing it and then grabbing it and ungrabbing it and just like shifting around on the couch because they're losing this so bad. And I loved the "you're not important enough to care." It's like a very Stassi, a very Lisa to Stassi line. Like, you're not important enough to hate. So Jason's like, oh, we hurt your friends? What are you talking about? We hurt your friends. And Danny's like, what are you talking about? You forgot the whole storyline? Come on. He goes, oh yeah, we're not going to get into that. Well, you're asking. That's what she's talking about. So Janet is like, oh, of course the ass grabber's laughing. Of course he is. Of course he is. That's what ass grabbing people do. Of course. They laugh. They're just laughers.
Laughing and laughing and laughing. I told you to your face I was just trying to be a bitch. I mean, come on. And so Jason's like, why are we not allowed to be mad about you being a bitch? Which is a fair point. So Kristen's like, it's not that you're not allowed to be mad, but you guys would not shut the fuck up about it the whole summer.
Yeah, I mean, their point is nobody cared about the ring thing. It was like a stupid thing Kristen said when she was mad. And the only reason it became a thing is because Janet made it into a storyline. Because at first Janet just laughed it off like, well, everyone knows that's not true, Kristen, which was actually a very smart move, and it deflated Kristen's whole thing. I mean, even us watching the show, we were like, yeah, that was lame by Kristen, because they had like a 3-week thing where they were like, Kristen is going to say this thing, and she finally said it, and we're like, like, that's stupid. Yeah. And Janet laughed it off, and it was like, well played. That was a well played, she got out of me, which is rare to get something out of me for Janet. But she got that out of me, and then she just decided, well, I guess we need something to do. Let's be pissed off about this thing. And they just have egg on their face.
Yeah, well, Jason's saying that actually, really, who he was more upset with was Jasmine over the whole thing, because her being the source, they had a great relationship, so that's why they got mad, because it was Jasmine. And Kristen's like, but you guys say I make shut up though. She goes, well, I don't know. I mean, I know, but we weren't going after you. Like during the whole season, we weren't going after you. And she's like, oh, I watched the show, Jason. I watched it. He's like, so did I. Kristen's like, you called me a liar. You said my reputation and shit like that. I do not have a reputation of making things up or being a liar. I'm like, well, Kristen, I mean, I don't know so much about that one. I think
your whole first season was about lying about fucking Jax. Like your whole beginning of this show was about you lying. So
do you remember why you were fired from Vanderpump?
You remember, girl? You gotta have faith, faith, faith. Oh, you've got to have faith, faith, faith.
But I love sanctimonious Kristen. Like, I love that. She's like, I am known for being truthful. I am known for finding shit out. She's like a bastion of the truth out there.
Well, Kristen is Detective Doty. I guess that's what she's referring to. Is like her reputation is Detective Doty and like bringing Miami girl in town. Shit like that.
I like, but also, never mind. I was just, Kristen, I love how annoyed she is in this episode. So she's like, yeah, I have a reputation for uncovering the truth and not exaggerating. Everyone knows that I never exaggerate. Everyone from the most random person in the middle of Nebraska to all the people at the G4 summit, they all know I do not exaggerate.
Unborn babies know. If you ask 9 out of 10 bunny rabbits, they would tell you. I'm not known for exaggerating.
I was watching Alien Earth, and all those xenomorphs arrived, and they said, guess what? We're here to find Kristen Doty, because we hear she does not exaggerate.
So Andy is skeptical. Andy's like,
Oh, is that your reputation?
she's like, yes, uncovering the truth and inserting myself in places that are none of my business. Not being a liar, not exaggerating, not my reputation.
Okay, well, Jasmine, at the beach, you screamed at Janet saying she was a shit-ass friend, she's a vibe killer, and she gives Karen energy. What did Janet do that made you so mad?
Other than being a shit-ass friend, being a vibe killer, and giving Karen energy? I mean, you just listed 3 pretty good ones.
Yeah, yeah, that feels
How many more do I need?
She's like, well, I wanted to talk to Jason, and as I'm talking to Jason, Janet is just spitting at me. She's like, you're a snake, you're a liar, you're whack. And Jason's like, whoa, that didn't happen. She goes, snake, you go, snake, you said snake. He's like, whoa. And Janet's like, if they had that footage, they should roll it, because I do not remember saying that. No, you did. You said you're a whack snake. And Janet, you were just like crossing your arms in this whack way, and you were just like, snake, liar, whack snake, whack liar, and you were just standing there and you were like this, snake, liar, snake, liar.
Yeah, you were like, you know what, if you were Chips, I would order some guacamole, because that's how whack of a snake you are. Okay, you said it, Janet, I remember.
And when she said that, I was like, no, she didn't. I mean, Jasmine is notoriously terrible at this, and she's also a horrible flip-flopper. Like Jasmine, not Janet, Jasmine. Jasmine's story changes all the time. She flip-flops on people constantly. She's anti one person to Janet, and then totally going and acting like she's been on that person's side the whole time. I mean, Jasmine, she's bad at this game. And she's full of shit, too. Or she just remembers things completely wrong. But yeah, even this part, I have to stick up for Janet, because, wow, this is not true
Janet
at all.
was just... Yeah, I mean, Janet was interrupting and getting in the way, but she was not the one saying snake. It was actually Jason. And the
answer should have been, I'm trying to talk to my friend, Jason, and you kept interjecting with your little Karen, and I'm not trying to talk to you, and I lost my temper at you. That's what happened. But instead, she's like, and you sat there and crossed your arms and called me a snake over and over. It's like, no, it didn't. Don't make me stand up for Janet. That's the worst thing you could have done, Jasmine. Now I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we see the flashback. You're giving Karen energy, and Jasmine's like, anyway, you wouldn't let me speak in that moment, and I was just like, let me speak to Jason, explain to him the situation, this whack situation. All right, Jason, were you surprised to see Jasmine get upset like that? And he's like, I mean, I think my face in that scene showed I was shocked by that. Remember how I cried? That was really great, right? Do you feel like by the way, Jasmine, do you feel like you were manipulated at all? This is lawyer Jason about to make a very good point.
And she's like, manipulated was like, yeah. Did you feel manipulated by somebody? She probably feels manipulated right now. You're literally trying to manipulate her right now to saying she feels manipulated, sir.
She's like, and Zach's like, by who? Me? Is it me? Did I do the manipulation? And Luke is like, shh, Kristen, just wait your turn. Be quiet.
She's like, did you just tell me to shush?
I told you. Yeah,
that was so funny.
Just stop it, babe. Stop it.
So Jasmine's like, I don't think I was manipulated. Are you sure? Are you sure you didn't feel manipulated, Jason? Okay. I don't know a lot about Jason, except I hate him on this show. And B, he's probably a terrible lawyer, because he's so ham-fisted with this. This is hard to watch. She's like, no, I haven't been manipulated. Nope.
Show me on the doll where you were manipulated. Andy's like, you're saying Kristen Doty over there manipulated someone? Jason's like, I watched the show. It looked to me like Kristen doesn't like Janet, so she's talking to people, and she's talking to people and saying, this is Janet, and Janet was the scapegoat for everyone. I mean, look, you can't even accuse someone of sexual assault anymore. I mean, this is scapegoat behavior right now.
And Kristen's like, what show did you watch? And Jerry's like, I know. Well, you watched as your husband. That's the show that you watched. Okay. And Kristen's like, I swear to God, what the fuck were you watching? Yeah, what were you watching? Janet is literally behind everything on this season. The only reason people talked about Janet is because she was spreading shit all season.
And actually, for the first portion of the season, Janet was fairly out of harm's way. I mean, she entered the season with a beef with Zach, with a beef with Kristen. She settled things with Zach and didn't quite settle things with Kristen. And it really went sour for her when at that one dinner at Brittany's house where Janet said to Nia, hey, if Danny is seeing babies on the ceiling, I have someone that you could talk to about that. And then all of a sudden, like World War III broke out. But I don't think that Kristen was manipulating. I think Kristen was just reacting to what she felt was an unfair characterization of Danny. Whether it was or not, that's a whole other issue, and who cares? But I don't think Kristen has manipulation in her. She may try, but I think everyone would see it coming 10 miles away. Like she'd be like, hey,
yeah, she's not.
You know what I heard? You should hate Janet. Okay, start. Like that's would be her manipulation.
Yeah. So Andy asks Jasmine where her relationship with Janet stands. So she's like, oh, listen, look, I've been friends with her like for so long, like me and Janet, like we're so tight, like we've been friends forever, and it's like with siblings, we're like family because like, when you fight with your family, like how it's like whack. So we do that. But like, like it's what we do. Like I fight with Zach all the fucking time. But like, there was never like a I hate Janet kind of thing, like that kind of thing. It was just like you're a bitch and you're a Karen, like that's different. But like there's like layers of stuff because like, like our friendship hasn't been the same. Like we just don't talk, and it hurts, but like, I mean, I don't hate you. I don't like, I mean, but like, there's like love there, like Melissa made a good point. She was like, you guys are crying, and like I was crying in my house and she was crying in her house, and Melissa was like, oh my God, that means you love each other because you're both crying, so like maybe that's good. Is that love really? When you're in a friendship where you've both made each other cry multiple times and you're sitting in your ball pit, I don't think so. Sitting in your home baby ball pit, I don't know that that's a good friendship.
Maybe evidence of like a brain injury after bonking that low-hanging hood in your kitchen. So Kristen's like, well, there is love, but there's also shit talking, Jasmine. Come on. We have a group talk where you shit talk. You do it. She's like, no, I get that. And, I get upset with her, and there's things that we need to talk about, like, all the whack stuff she's done. And Kristen's like, so like, you have to be fair about that. Still be angry at her. Stop being nice. It is kind of funny.
Here she is again, Jasmine refusing to say what she's saying in the group chat to Janet's face. Here she got pissed off at the beach and she called her the Karen and all of that. But other than that, she won't stand up to her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because maybe she is trying to salvage it, and maybe she doesn't want to rehash that because maybe the things that she wrote she was angry about, or maybe Jasmine herself is two-faced is all that.
That's my
could be all of the above, quite frankly, especially.
I mean, at least say it out loud. If Kristen's literally telling you on the stage, I mean, you say this and that about Janet, just be honest. And she's like, oh no, but like ultimately I love her. Well, what was it? What are you saying, flip flopper?
Well, to be fair, all these people are terrible friends to each other. I mean, let's not forget, this is an outgrowth of Vanderpump Rules.
Oh, yeah.
The Lazy Susan of awfulness, where they all were duplicitous about each other, and they all got into savage, vicious fights, and then they become friends again, like the next season.
True.
So,
and I'm calling them out each individually as their turn comes up.
As
and
you
right
should,
now it's Jasmine's turn. Right now it's Jasmine's turn to be called a fucking flip-flopper. Take a stand, flip-flopper.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Jasmine's like, it was just like a buildup of whack things. That's all. And Kristen's like, but you said Janet stopped acting like herself. She's like, yes. So Jason's like, no, don't say that. That's not true. And she goes, well, and I let a lot of whack things brush under the whack rug. I mean, I had the wackest rug of all time, and I still was able to fit more whack things under it because I was brushing so hard with a very whack brush, I'd like to add.
Yeah, and Jasmine's like, I mean, I should have talked to you, but like I didn't talk to you because like, at the time I just felt like, what's the point? Because I had a group chat. So Andy's like, okay, well, who here thinks Janet is a Karen? And I swear to you, everyone in my house raised their hand. I mean, it was just me and Bueller, but still, that was
How
two
did
hands.
No one raised their hand. I was shocked. And Kristen's like, well, she said Karen energy. She didn't say she is a Karen, because as we all know, her name is Janet. So you really can't call someone a Karen if they're not really named Karen, right? Is that how it works?
Janet's like, go ahead, raise your hands. I'm on hold with the police right now. I'm on hold with the police.
I'd like to call the manager of this reunion. Okay. I do not like the way I'm being treated.
Yeah.
So Jasmine says, I didn't call her a Karen. It was just the energy she was giving. And I think like it was a lot more of like just like exhausted of you, like the whole like Zach stuff and like the Kristen and like just hearing things. And it just maybe like it would have like maybe come back to you and been like, hey, this is how I feel. And I didn't. And like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm really saying. I think I'm just at this point taking random phrases and mashing them together into like a little monologue. I don't know.
Well, it's clear that you all care about each other. Clear to who? I'm not really sure, but it's on my cards. So
that's what Andy says when he wants to move on. Yeah. He's like, let me put a bow on this. You guys are nowhere close to resolution, but I'm going to sort of announce a resolution. You guys care about each other. Okay, I'm bored. Moving on.
Janet's like, yeah, I mean, I don't hate you guys. Hold on, let me try to cry. Let me get some Jack's tears. Like, I don't hate you guys because like you're the friends that would come over in like sweatpants and like play games and cook. Like you guys would watch me microwave corn tortillas with cheese and cream while we played Monopoly all the time, you know? And I really miss you guys. I really miss you saying, is this supposed to be a chip because it's soggy? And then me having to explain to you what it really was.
Yeah, and the relationship, it's not like how it used to be. It's just more like before it was like crack and now it's like whack. And like, let's just keep that real, like 100, like, you know, like maybe like one day. I don't know. I don't know. So Jason's like, I would hope so. And I think we all feel that way. So, you know. And he's like,
okay, back to drug addiction. Okay. After a 30-day stint in whatever we're calling it, probably a McDonald's drive-thru, Jax left the mental health treatment facility with a Big Mac and a large Coke Zero and seemed intent on picking up right where he left off, holding a 99-cent supersized French fry. Okay. Now, Jax, the night before you returned home, some of your friends rebranded your bar Brits Bar. You were upset, right? Well, I mean, like, it's not England, so.
I mean, who wouldn't be upset? I mean, we're in America. I understand why they did it. But like taking my signs and throwing in the garbage was a little much, you know? I'm like, yeah, you know, it's a little much. Throwing a coffee table at your wife and bar stools too, etc. And then throwing a picture of her and her dad out in the trash. And Nia's like, oh, it's a different situation. It's like, but that wasn't my party or your party. It's like, no, it was Brit's bar. And it was whenever me and Jasmine went to talk to Schwartz and I was telling them everything you had just done. It wasn't Brit's bar, I meant to say. Jack's like, but I wasn't there for that. No, you weren't there for any of that. Okay.
Stupid Jax. He's like, yeah, I don't remember. I wasn't there. I missed that day. Yeah, Jax, you were in rehab, dummy. So Jax is like, yeah, you know, like it was like really hurtful. It was just really hurtful, you know. Poor Jax. Poor Jax. Why are we hurting Jax?
Andy's like, Jax, you know, they were just trying to prop her up. That's what cocaine is for, Andy. Oh, no, it's fine. I understand. It was all very positive, Jax. It was very, very positive. And he's like,
I understand, but it was so hurtful. It was very hurtful. And Kristen's like, the bar never got to be about her, and she worked so hard, and she put money into it. More than you. I put more money into it than you. That's for sure.
You know what? Even when you were in rehab, I was keeping that place afloat. So Andy's like, Zach, you're still here, right? Huh. Are you allowed into Jax's bar? And Jax says, no. And Jack's like, it's really funny that Jax has such this animosity towards just me and can forgive everybody else. But like, what I want to say is I used to be the biggest Jax apologist. I was there every single time when like she was broken down, Brittany was broken down and I had to pick her up. Or when he would break down and I would hold him while he cried, and for him to turn so hard on her and me just out of nowhere is like so rude.
I need a painting in my home of Zach cradling Jax as he cries.
Please.
I need that visual. And Jax is like, I mean, it's the stuff you say on social media, you know? I mean, like, what do you want me to do about it? What am I supposed to do? And then we see a screenshot of Zach's post. Riddle me this. How's it possible you come out of rehab a worse person than when you went in? That was a good one, you guys.
Again, Jax is more upset about a stupid tweet than he is about his own behavior, it seems like. So Zach is like, okay, yeah, like the things I say on social media, excuse me, are literally not even remotely close to what I would say about you, like right now to your face if Andy ever asked me a question, which he doesn't.
Zach's like, I could have been worse, like I am to your face. So that's like being nice on social media. I can't believe he won't talk to me. Jack's like, I don't care. You're nobody to me. You're nobody. It's like, well, actually, I miss our friendship. I just want you to be a better person. It's like, I don't really care what you want.
And you want to prove that you don't have this control issue, that you can make it better, then work on it with people that are in our in our life, in her life, okay? He's like, no, I agree. It's like, no. Jax hates Zach. Mainly, I do believe some of it is, or a large part of it is because Zach is gay. I will say that. I pick up so much homophobic, like the dismissiveness to Zach, I think, is, to me, I'm getting homophobic vibes. I really do. And not that Zach is like a saint over there, but Jax treats Zach differently than everyone else. So I am like, fuck Jax on a whole nother level. It's just amazing how many levels that we can say fuck Jax about. So Andy is like,
well, Zach's like, also standing up, and I'm not even saying that's wrong. I mean, obviously, I think I would agree with that, but Jax is you've got Zach standing up for Brittany all the time. So that's enough. Jax is like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, but with other people who stand up for Brittany, Jax at least pretends to be like, no, I get it. No, she deserves everything in the world. No, I was bad. I was a bad husband. Like, you're right. You had to defend her because she was in a terrible place. He comes up all his bullshit, but then when Zach, he's like, I don't care about you. You're no one to me. There's just kind of like this, like, maybe I'm projecting onto it, but I definitely get like high school bully, like beaten down on the gay kid. So Andy is like, hey, is Frank Drummond allowed in your bar? And they're like, ha ha. And Jack's like, who? And Zach's like, have you even seen any of the episodes?
Did you know we talked about it on the show? Yeah, he doesn't even watch the show.
He doesn't get it.
Yeah, we've all seen the show. Well, he's the only person here who hadn't watched the show, so he doesn't know what we're talking about. And he's like, oh, my burner account? Yeah, is that what you mean? Yeah, that. And he's like, who's Frank Drummond?
And he's like, Frank Drebin from The Naked Gun. And he's like, okay, and who is Frank Drebin? And Jax is like, it's my burner account. And by the way, this drove me nuts. I was really glad that Seth Rogen called this out, although I think we called it out too. And especially, I'm sure all of America called it out now because The Naked Gun is literally back in theaters. But it's Frank Drebin, you idiot. You didn't even get your burner name right.
I love
Frank Drebin.
He's like, you never even see The Naked Gun? Come on, bro.
Have you seen The Naked Gun, Jax? I hate that. Naked Gun is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I hate that Jax is even putting his paws on it in a Finsta account.
Yeah. Well, listen to some of these tweets. Legend. Jax is on the show. What man wouldn't feel that way about himself? He's a legend. That was hilarious. And then you DM'd me on accident from the account, so it was like proof that it was yours. I mean, you are so dumb.
Janet's like, I mean, come on, don't you know if you have a burner, like you just look, right? And Andy's like, are you still commenting as Frank Drebin? It's like, nah, I haven't used that account. I mean, but it's Drebin. It's Drebin. It's Leslie Nielsen from The Naked Gun. And Andy's like, oh my God. Janet's like, don't butcher his burner name. So they're just shitting on him. Okay, Jax.
And Janet makes a comment. She's like, well, come on, Jax, you should know if it's your burner account, you just read. You don't comment. Okay.
Wait, no, isn't a burner account the point that you comment with it? Because you can't comment under your real name?
Yeah, she's saying if you don't want to get caught, you just read. So then we see a flashback of his eBay listings of selling Britney's Jenny Craig bags, which is so sad. And it's sadder than it seemed. And Jax is like, well, I sell a bunch of stuff on eBay. I sell a bunch of stuff. I mean, you can see for the bunion of my toe, like I worked very hard at it in that picture because you see the Jenny Craig bag and then his bunion next to it.
The telltale bunion. It could have been Ashley Darby. So Andy is like, all right, Kristen, Jax decided to come to Benji's welcome home party, even though he wasn't invited.
Yeah, pull the Dodie, right? Everyone knows. All right, show up places uninvited. Everyone knows this.
So Andy's like, well, you had a conversation with Zach where you said it was your show. And we see that amazing scene where Jack says it's my show. And Zach is like, not for the last 30 days it wasn't, bitch.
So I mean, wasn't telling Lisa Vanderpump that Vanderpump Rules was your show in season 8 kind of the beginning of the end for you? He's like, yeah, probably, whatever.
So we see that. And then Andy's like, okay, raise your hand if Jax has referred to this show as his show. And they're all raising their hands. And it's like, yeah, we're just all lucky to be here. Really?
we're just lucky. So, well, it's true. I mean, none of this would have happened if I didn't start this up. And Andy's like, is this Jack's show, everybody? And everyone's like, no. He was gone for 30 days and nobody missed him. And Danny's like, well, you said you fired everyone from season 1 because you didn't like the edit. And then they're just all laughing in Jax's face.
Yeah. So then, historically speaking, it's very difficult to surprise Kristen Doty. So how'd you do it, guys? I mean, when did you know, Luke, that Kristen was the one? And he's like, well, it was a road trip. And like we had 5,000 miles in the car with dogs. And it was like hellish. And like, we were great, like we agreed on the same books on tape from the Cracker Barrel that we just ended up leaving at 7-Elevens all over the country and ended up getting charged $75 each. God, it's really expensive for a book on tape. Did you know most cars don't come with tape recorders or tape players anymore? That was pretty disappointing. God, I really wanted to know what that next Danielle Steele had to say.
All right, and you had not watched Vanderpump Rules, right? It's like, no, I mean, for the podcast, we recap season 1, and other than that, no. Yeah, they were already together at that point. And thanks for the color commentary, Brittany. Kristen's like, yeah, he was like, I can't do this anymore. And Andy's like, yeah, I bet, because we all saw you. Yeah, I bet.
I like that Luke is a typical husband of a Bravo watcher. He's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll watch Vanderpump Rules. And no, I will not watch any of this anymore. I'm done. Okay, do you want to get a fucking divorce?
Hello there. This is a 2-part recap, okay? This is the end of part 1. So thank you so much for listening to this. Just come back a little later for part 2.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
It's always a party on Allison Block.
Our way is the Amber way.
It's the Foster and the Furious. It's Amanda Foster. It's always automatic with Ashley Auto. Put your hands together for Carly Clapp.
Get on the right foot with Chrissy Offit.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Etchels.
We never miss her call. It's Diane Call.
Aaron McNicholas. She don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
You'll never hide from Heidi Eleanor Jones.
I go, you go, we all go for Hugo.
Jamie. She has no last namey.
She's our kind of mess. It's Jennifer Messer.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
Get a bee in your bonnet with Lacey B. Que sera, whatever will be, will Lauren Silsby.
Bringing the funk, it's Leslie Plunkett.
She gets an A from us. It's Lindsay D. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
Fresh as a daisy, it's Maisie McHenry.
We love her on the rocks. It's Melissa Cox. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
This is Livin' with Michelle Vivian.
I love ya, Olivia Williamson.
Tastier than Flanderson, it's Rachel Manderson.
She sure is swell, it's Raquel.
Yes, we canna, it's Savannah.
Cast a spell with Shannon Spellman. Let's share with Sharon Eldridge.
Darn Skippy, it's Tippy.
And our super premium sponsors.
She's VVIP, it's Amanda V. Can't lose when you're with Amy Baldwin.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Who, what, why, where, and Gwen Pentland.
Let's go into the woods with Guy Tubbs.
It's our queen, it's Queen Laifah.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. Hail the Cork Master, the Master of the Cork, Jennifer Corcoran. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley. In the study with a candlestick, it's Leslie Peacock.
G, it's Lisa H.
We're ride or die for Lisa Ryder Barron. She's a whiz, it's Liz Sarthy. Always killing it, it's Lola Alkalani.
The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
She eases our woes, it's Melissa St. Rose.
There's a chance of meatballs, it's Rebecca Cloud.
Neat, it's Ronit Feldman.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
We cannot tell a lie, it's Sarah Telefson.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony.
Please don't stop, it's Soli and Pop.
Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
It's always a good time when you're wasting time with Bravo.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.